So the New York Knicks moved to 3-0 in the preseason after knocking out the Timberwolves in overtime 100-95. The first half was very discouraging for the Knicks, if you want to put it that way. I don't know if that's the right way to phrase it, but they only scored 38 points. I thought the transition defense was terrible. The Knicks at one point were like 4 of 40 from three, but given the fact that this team was traveling from the Middle East, I didn't really expect much from them with that jet lag. But the reason why I'm making a video on this game and the reason why I think Knicks fans should care about this is the way that the bench played. Now, obviously, guys are competing for roster spots, so even though it's a meaningless preseason game, they're going to come out and play. But in that fourth quarter, the Knicks outscored the Timberwolves 27-19. I mean, going into the fourth, this game seemed all but over. Jalen Brunson was 4 of 14. Cat was 2 of 11. The Knicks just couldn't buy a bucket. But then all of a sudden, the third string came in, and they started to put together a couple of stops, and their defense transitioned into their offense. Specifically, Huck Porty and Garrison Matthews. The rim protection was awesome. Top to bottom, the Knicks bench just competed. Like Tosan, Mohamed Diawara, they did a good job. Jemison as well, of course, who a former Laker, came in here, and they just competed. They played with high intensity. They wanted this win, and Garrison Matthews was able to knock down the dagger corner three ball off of a Tyler Kolek assist, but that came off of a Porty rejection. The Knicks' best offense is going to be through their defense. It doesn't matter if it's the first, second, or third string. We saw tonight that, hey, look, if you just go out there and play defense, you're going to have a chance to win, even though the shots aren't falling. And it was just a thing of beauty, if I'm being honest with you. Like, take a look at the bench, guys. So Bakom Diaby was a plus 13 in 15 minutes. Look at Jordan Clarkson, was a plus 7 in 18 minutes. Matthews plus 3. Kolek plus 3. Brogdon plus 6. Porty plus 15. Tosan was a plus 7. So these guys picked up the slack and they bailed out the starting five, which just wasn't very good. And I absolutely love to see that. Now, I was just looking at our depth chart, trying to come up with what, in my opinion, I think is going to be the rotation. And here's kind of where I'm leaning at. So I think Brunson's going to start. Bridges at the 2, OG at the 3, Cat at the 4, and Mitch at the 5. If any of you guys haven't been following the news, Cat lost weight to play the 4, so he's locked in as the 4 this season. And then the bench becomes very interesting. The Knicks are only running 9 to 10 guys, so we can't go over that. Deuce, Clarkson, and Hart are absolutely coming off of the bench right away. The question is, who's going to be the next two? So, of course, you've got Gershon Yabusele, who did struggle tonight, but I'm not really worried about him. They're just trying to figure out how he sort of fits in his role with this scheme. So that's 9 right there. And then if they want to go with 5, well, I'd imagine it would be Malcolm Brogdon. They also have Landry Shamet, assuming he makes the roster over Matthews, which I think tonight kind of solidified that he will. Matthews did have a couple of threes, but Shamet's defense is just significantly better, so I think they'll go with Shamet. Hakeem Diadier, Huck Porty, I just don't think they're going to play every single night. So that's 10 right there. I mean, it's a little bit disappointing because I'd love to see the Knicks go to 13 guys to where the young guys do play, but I just don't see that happening. I don't think Mike Brown's going to do that. He's going to play the 10 guys that he trusts the most, and if there's an injury, then he'll have confidence for someone to be able to step up here and to come in and to make plays. Now, the Knicks do play on Monday. I believe that's our final preseason game. I'm going to double check that right now. It is not. I'm wrong. So we play Monday and Friday. And then the following Wednesday, the Knicks will take on the Cavs at home at Madison Square Garden on opening night against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then they play the Celtics 2 days later, the Heat, the Bucks. So 4 playoff teams, if we're being real. So the Knicks are going to get tested early. If you watch this game, you would realize that the Knicks, they're just a different team. They're pushing the ball in transition, whether it's off of a make or a miss. They're also running different sets, just getting guys touching the basketball. Mitchell Robinson, since he's starting, you now have an elite screener. You have an elite offensive rebounder. You have extra defense and size and strength next to Cat. And Mitch can also switch everything, so it's not like guards can kind of pick on him. Because you saw Tyrese Halliburton in the playoffs wanted nothing to do when Mitch was on him. Well, I guess, technically Halliburton kind of did take that 3, which, well, no, it was 2. Sorry, his foot was on the line in game 1. That was just luck, man, if I'm being real. It happens, I guess, fortunately for Knicks fans, it happens often. But this was one of those games to where, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I thought my mic was recording, and I made like a whole 12-ass video breaking down this game, and then I realized my mic wasn't recording. So kind of bear with me here. I mean, I'm trying to make it sound as best as possible, but dude, like making a preseason video twice is kind of diabolical. I'm just glad that the Knicks won because there would have been nothing worse than watching a preseason Knicks overtime game over the Giants just to see them lose. So at least they won. I mean, I know it's meaningless at the end of the day, but these are reps that these guys just need. And even if some of these players don't make the Knicks roster, they're still going to have a chance to go and compete for another team. So it's just fun to watch, man. I mean, these guys have been working all summer for this opportunity, and I'm glad that they were able to go out there and assert themselves and get it done. But man, I cannot wait for the regular season. The thing about being a Knicks fan the past couple of seasons is you've gotten a taste of being a playoff team, and then you've gotten a taste of being a legit Eastern Conference contender. So it almost feels like the regular season doesn't matter because, yeah, sure, it takes 82 games to understand who the best teams are. But as we've kind of learned, it doesn't matter what seed you are or where you're at. You got to go and get it done in the playoffs. Like the Pacers were a lower seed, not like by a game than the Knicks, but still they went to the finals and forced a game 7 and had Halliburton not getting hurt. I think the Pacers would have won. I don't know if you guys will agree with me on that take. So I just want to see the Knicks honestly kind of like breeze through the regular season. I don't care if they win 54 games or 50 games. Like I really couldn't care less. It's just about staying healthy and sort of implementing changes to the point where they're a better basketball team than they were last year. Like the Knicks had a lot of issues. I think too many Knicks fans just don't realize the amount of problems that the Knicks had against the Pacers. Now, if you lose a playoff series, obviously things went wrong, but I think a lot of it was just coachable. And Mike Brown has put those changes in, just making free throws, of course, inbounding the basketball and putting his team in a situation to succeed. Also, size is going to be big, keeping fresh legs, getting up the floor. The Knicks weren't able to run a lot last season because their starters played so many minutes. Like Mikal Bridges hasn't missed a game in his career, and he had to go and literally tell Tibbs, like, hey, play me less minutes and let's get some of these other guys in here, man. They've got a lot of talent. There's like another false narrative that the Knicks last season didn't have a good bench. The Knicks had a very good bench. It just didn't play. Like people bring up, oh, they were last in scoring. Yeah, because they didn't play. So now you guys are going to start to see the bench get a little bit more incorporated here. Now, again, 9 to 10 guys, so it's not like they're going 15 deep into their bench. But I do think the Knicks will do a lot of blowing out this season. The East is just weak. Like the Pistons, the Cavs, the Magic, there's some good, talented teams in this conference. But there's also a lot of teams that I don't think will be very competitive. So the Knicks are going to get up and these guys are going to play. But I do think the Knicks will cruise through the regular season. I think ESPN had us projected at like, I don't know, 48 or 50 wins. That's completely ridiculous. I think the Knicks will pretty easily get 50 games. I think they'll probably win like 55, 56, which is insane to think about because, again, they did that last season, but the last time they had prior to that was 2013. So it's not very often the Knicks do that. But again, guys, it doesn't matter if the Knicks have home court. It doesn't matter what seed they are. The Knicks just need to go into the playoffs with everyone healthy and to be on a mission and to defend and to rebound and to make those hustle plays. And I'm very confident in their ability to do that. I think the Knicks are going to do big things this season. And yeah, that's my breakdown, guys. I'm done though. I've had enough time. I've talked about this game for 20 minutes now. I just